All set.
Okay, hello, welcome. Welcome to the December 18th meeting of the Northborough Historic District Commission. My name is Bob Light, Chair. Before we get started, just the meeting announcement. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, an act relative to the extending certain COVID-19 measures, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. The order allows the Historic District Commission to meet entirely remotely, so as long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberation of the meeting. All members of the Historic District Commission are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. Members of the public who wish to view the live stream of this meeting may do so by going to the Northborough Remote Meeting on YouTube via the link listed on the agenda. This meeting will not feature public comment. Each vote taken this evening will be conducted by roll call vote. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Bob Light, I'm present. Leslie Harrison.
Hello.
Brian Swanson.
Here.
Amanda Millette.
Here.
Millie Milton.
Here.
Tom Reardon, I don't see. Brian Smith.
Yes, here.
Lorna Van Horn. No. And Rudy Volk was here. He's losing it. He's in Europe right now, losing his internet connection. So
Yeah.
there he is. Okay.
Here he is again.
Good. Okay. Thank you all. Let's get started. First on the agenda is a membership update. I want to welcome Rudy Volk to the Historic District Commission. He's all sworn in, ready to go.
Nice.
Welcome, Rudy.
Welcome.
And also, I received a resignation from Bruce Shute. And I want to thank him for all of his hard work over the past several years. He's been a longtime member of the Historic District Commission. So we are at full capacity for voting members at 7, and we have 2 alternate members. Okay, starting with old business, CPA project status. First thing on the agenda is the Brigham Street Burial Ground. We discussed that last meeting. I contacted Scott about the post situation. He thinks the 4 posts are a good idea. These would be on the west side of the grave area. I'm sorry, the east side, the right side. So the only issue there is, and there would be we would also get a plaque that would announce that to the left of these markers are where the various graves are located, some known, some unknown. So I would have to come up with the wording for that plaque. Scott is going to get me a quote. There are 2 options. One, maybe if I can just show it for everyone's memory. Okay, can you see that? So this basically is roughly the line where the graves are off to the left, and we would have posts set up, 4 posts in this area. Now, this is the okay, this is the area. We had already agreed that we were not going to put the posts at each corner because, in fact, this corner would be probably very close to that person's house on private property. So we would line up the 4 posts in this area. Now, the only question would be, do we put them at the corner and then two in the middle, spread out, or do we put chains between the
I'm not comfortable making that decision without a site visit.
right, and we don't have to make a decision tonight.
Okay, yeah, I think we definitely need to be there and see, and also just where the sign. I would think
Okay,
the sign would work best and everything. I think would be good to be there.
right. So we need a site visit. Right now, I told Scott he's gonna get me a quote, and the distance would be, if you look at these four posts here, that would be roughly the distance if we were to put chains up. I mean, I think my preference would be without chains and just have a line of four posts, but we'll go over and look at it. I think maybe by next meeting, we will be able to vote on it, but first we'll get a quote from Scott and see what he says.
Is that the maximum distance we can go with chains?
I could ask, but I'm assuming that, I don't know.
Yeah, I assume that was for aesthetic reasons, not for
Yeah,
technical reasons. So, and for the separation that we're looking for, I think maybe still doing chain, but having a longer
Okay.
distance between them. That's
Yes,
where I think
yes.
it would be really helpful just to be there and
yeah.
kind of
Okay.
talk through it.
All right. Well, I told Scott, obviously, I'll wait for a quote, but I explained that we probably would wait till the spring anyway, till the ground thaws. I imagine they could still do it in the winter time, but I don't think there's any rush. Okay. All right. All right, so then the decision is that we will have a site visit and probably discuss this at the next meeting. Next on the agenda is warped cemetery signs. Leslie, do you have any update on that?
Funny, very funny.
Pardon?
Leslie.
You saw my latest email and it's crickets as usual. So
Very
Okay.
funny. Oh, God.
Okay,
right
I
after
need
the last
to,
meeting.
well, when we do the site visit, we could check out the sign at Brigham Street too. Leslie,
Yeah,
if you wanna,
I sent him an email 2 weeks ago. It was on the 4th.
okay, if you want to set up a time for a site visit, or if you have any time, let me know, and I can send something around.
Maybe we just do a doodle poll to see what people's availability is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know with holidays, but we could check.
I don't think before, yeah, I think January at the earliest, I would think.
Okay, sounds
Maybe
good.
we don't talk. Yeah, I think trying to do it between now and yeah, December, I don't think
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
Just my 2 cents.
And then I have nothing new on the Legacy Tree Program. I still need to write that application, so I'll get to it.
I mean, just quickly, as far as a site visit, maybe we talk about it at the next meeting and plan it and see who's interested and then go from there.
Okay, sounds
When
good.
we punt, I would say punt till the next meeting.
Okay. Moving along, the committee representation. First is CPC, Leslie.
Well, I mean, you presented the Rev 260 to 250, so I'll let you, I defer to Bob.
Oh, well, I was at the last meeting and I was just presenting the CPC application for the Revolution 250 monument. And that is right now Scott and I believe Abby Lane, I think, is going to be going to the
Ally.
sorry. And they're going to be going to the town common to look for a good site to put it and make a recommendation.
Oh, nice.
And it looks like basically that seems to be the place it's going to go. I think most of the CPC agreed, and I think we probably have to get a tie-in from the select board, but I think basically, if Scott agrees and finds a adequate spot, that's where it would go. So obviously it hasn't been approved yet. I think it looks good, for approval by CPC, and then it would go to the, town meeting. That's all I had on that. Anything else on CPC you wanted to mention?
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. I did want, as far as the Rev 250, we invited, the Rotary Club, and we invited, Terry Underwood to come talk about the Cultural Council. And she is going to come to talk to us, but she's also going to talk about Rev 250.
Oh, good. Okay.
I told her that you were
Terry is
keeping-
the chair of the Rev 250.
Right.
Good.
So you're welcome to come to that meeting if you're interested. It's always hybrid. I usually can't get away from work, so I usually call, and I think wasn't sure if she would come in person or not, but we meet at the senior center, and she's coming on April 7th. If you have
When
any
is the
interest.
meeting?
Pardon me?
When is the meeting?
April 7th
Oh.
at
Okay.
noon.
All right.
And we always do a hybrid. So I can add you to the distribution list if you're interested. And
Yes, please.
okay, I'll put that in. Okay.
Yep. April 7th, we're going to be very busy with the planning of the Minutemen Day celebration. Okay, MPIC, Millie.
That's me. So just a few things that we have going on. The downtown revitalization discussion. Basically, the Blake Street project is in its design phase. So we really haven't seen anything that has been put to paper on that at this point. We have, some of the MPIC things we've done are discussing what is the real role of the MPIC amongst all the other boards and committees and what their goals are and how do we get them to maybe attend to them. We did have a forum last Wednesday that involved the planning board, the select board, and the master plan committee to try to give the planning director and the building inspector and some of the town staff some direction on what path to move in. I think we're trying to work towards whether or not we implement an economic development committee or whether we work with a professional. So hopefully that will result in some direction on that. As far as anything more specific, there really hasn't been anything on that. The dams, that's really in the Conservation Commission at this point.
The dams?
Yeah. Yeah. Can't think of anything else on that. As far as our own goals and the master plan, I'm still trying to get some information from people about their backgrounds. I've heard from a few of you, and I think we have some pretty solid some experience. I don't know if we're going to have what they're looking for a local government, designation.
I haven't sent you anything because really my only qualification is serving on this this committee. So
Okay, and that's fine. I just want to make sure that it didn't fall off people's radars and say, "Oh, I forgot." Yeah. So, that's fine. Yeah. I was
Okay.
hoping to hear from Tom. And I think I heard from Brian Smith. Did I hear from you, Brian Smith?
No,
Brian Swanson.
Yeah.
Okay.
no,
Okay.
Well,
Brian Smith's you're a huge resource.
As a historian, I would think.
Yeah. My God, yeah.
Right. No pressure.
no,
I certainly think you count as a historian. I would put that down. I don't think you,
yeah, historian doesn't count.
it does count,
No,
actually. That's very
that's what
important.
they're looking for.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I can sort of read the bit about some of the more helpful experience, professionals, and it would be architects, historians, landscape architects, architectural historians, contractors, lawyers. I'm not sure why they're in there, but maybe.
Rule, rule me
Yeah,
out.
and certainly if Rudy, if you have experience and things like that, I would love to hear about that and see if that can help us either get an application in or be told that we don't yet have the membership criteria.
But also any direct experience that you have on it, like if you were involved heavily in setting up a historic district. I think that should be stated. Rudy, did you respond on that yet? Because you
Oh,
were
you're
involved in,
muted.
you're a mute? Because I know Rudy was involved in setting up a historic district in Boston.
Yeah, he's muted.
You're muted.
There you
Yeah, sorry.
go.
Sorry, yes, I answered. Yes, I was involved in an historic district, Frederick Douglass Historic District in Boston. Yes. Mhm.
So
Yes, I will submit my credentials. Yeah.
Is that something
you very
you
much.
can, basically, we're looking to set up a certified local government, or at least seeing if we qualify for that. That enables us to get grants and funding and you know, hopefully some financial assistance and in doing preservation work. So if you can kind of give us a background or give me a little bit of a paragraph of your experience, your summary, your professional background, your personal background, not too personal, but you know, that way they want to see that we have a committee of people that really have a serious invested interest in working on some of the responsibilities of a certified local government.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be great. Just if you can just email something like that to me.
And I just a few bullets would be great, Rudy. And also with Tom, he's an architect, so clearly you could put that down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And he certainly has an eye for some of the historical and New England character traits that we
Right.
like to have in our
He
town.
could fill in
So,
the details, but at least put him down as an architect.
right. But I guess I would like either something in his own words or at least permission. I haven't heard from him, so I really don't want to say what, you know, unless that's something. Does that seem to make sense?
But yeah, I'll give him time to respond.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda for the representation is Revolution 250. I already discussed the CPC grant. We have an account number for the ARPA money, and we're going to start the purchasing process for the colonial attire. We also set a tentative date for the big Minutemen Day celebration, and it's going to be tentatively Saturday, May 5th. That puts us 2 weeks after the April 19th celebrations that will be going on. Now, April 19th is a tough weekend. We didn't want to try to do anything that weekend because that's going to be Good Friday, Easter, as well as the 250th anniversary of Lexington and Concord. And the following week is the end of school vacation, and I believe it might also be town meeting that week. So we picked 2 weeks after April 19th, which puts us to May 5th. Okay, that's all I have for that. See, Tom's not here for the fire station building committee, but I can report that apparently they found a place for the stone wall, or part
Oh,
of the
wow.
stone wall that has to be moved, and apparently they're getting quotes. It's still an issue about who's going to pay for it, but it appears that the contractor that's going to be doing the fire station will also move the stones, and it's supposed to go to Watson Park,
Oh, nice.
which is over by Bartlett Pond.
Well, that's great.
So it's going to either stay there or it's going to be used, it's going to be there to store until they find another use for it.
Oh, okay, all right.
So that's in the works. Okay. Anything else on committees? Okay, new business. Millie jumped ahead. She's so excited about the
I certainly did. I didn't.
So we already covered that. Anything else on that? I guess we're all set.
I think we're all set. Yeah.
Okay. Next is 9 and 13 Church Street. So my understanding is that there's going to be two separate demolition requests. One for 9, one for 13. 13 is the fire station. I have not received those yet, and following the bylaws, we have 30 days to have a public meeting to discuss whether the buildings are historically significant and therefore subject to the demolition delay. Where we stand right now, I've spoken with the building department, so they're putting together the paperwork from the contractor. And my understanding is that it will be two separate requests. So we don't. I'm looking right now at having our next meeting, which is January 15th, will be the meeting that we will have the public comment meeting for that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
The 13 Church Street was built in 1926. Does that come before you as a demo request or no?
No, that's going to be that will be waived. We'll just follow the bylaws. It's not 100 years old. So therefore that's not, because it is a demolition request, we have to at least come up with a reason why we're not discussing it. But we do not have to go into the historic significance of that building until 2026.
Okay.
Yes, Rudy.
According to the property card, it's built 1900. By the way, also,
Yeah.
do you know
Yeah, that's
this,
a
or do you know
that's a
the
mistake.
Hmm?
That's a mistake. We have records that show it was 1926.
Oh,
Yeah, the
So that-
property,
yeah.
if I can, the property was not, the actual land was not even purchased by the town until 1926 or 25 or 26. So the building wasn't erected until 26. It was part of another piece of property.
Yes, Rudy?
You don't need to raise your hand.
Yeah, I don't know how to. What is the town? Why does a town want to tear down? This I would like to know. And it's public money. And is there something which we can do additional against it, or in case that there might be some interest in it, to do something against the demolition? Is
Well,
there
I think that's what we'll be discussing.
Well, I mean, it doesn't belong to the town. It belongs to Millie. And it's condemned, the building has been condemned by the building inspector, right?
Right, and that's the other point. Even
That's
if
kind
it
of an important
wasn't,
point.
even if it was 100 years old, if a building is condemned and a safety hazard,
Yeah.
then that would take it out of our control.
As part of the purchase, it was it has to be torn down. It was an agreement that was stated by the town that the building has to be demolished. That was part of the contract purchase.
So the issue is going to be 9 Church Street, which is over 100 years old. And that is, now I have some information on the house, which I can send to everyone. There was a write-up in the Northborough Historical Society about the house, plus there's also a Macris filing So I don't know if anyone has that, but I will send it around to everyone to review. At this point, so that's going to require a public comment section and a determination whether it's historically significant. One issue is, do we think that we need to inspect the house before the meeting? And the reason I bring that up is that in the past, if a house has had significant restoration, so so the majority of the house is no longer 100 years old, that might be a reason why it would not be considered historically significant. Millie, do you have any comments do you think that we should be
I
doing
mean,
that?
I don't think there's been a whole lot of, additions or changes, honestly. I don't think much of it has been kept in good state. But I do, it's it's old. It right now it is going through an asbestos abatement before any other action is taken on it. So if I'm more than happy to have people go through it. We just want to make sure that it's done at a time that is appropriate for that type of abatement and mitigation.
Well, personally, I don't know what I'd be looking for. I would like to reach out to Tom Reardon, because
Sure.
he's done that in the past, and see if he thinks it's worth doing.
Yeah.
So I will contact him. Anyone else on the commission feels the need to inspect the house before January 15th, let me know. Meanwhile, I will send out the information I have about the house. I think that would be what we would need for the determination.
Yep.
So that's the plan. And again, I'm assuming I'm going to get the documents before January 15th, but I'm going to plan on having the next meeting January 15th.
Of course.
Otherwise we have to wait another month.
Right.
Okay. That's that.
Rudy has a question.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. You mentioned that there's a contract with Church Street as 13 Church Street.
Yes.
Is it possible to 13. Is it possible to see this contract before the meeting,
Yeah,
public meeting, or is it?
It was part of the purchase agreement, which was put out like 9 months ago, a year ago. It's part of the original proposal that they asked people to, when they asked people to put bids on, they said, this is a building that would you need to agree to to take it down. But I'd be more than happy to share that with anybody.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. We should gather as much information as we can by the January 15th, so we can, and again, it is going to be open to
Well-
public comment. And then after the public comment and our deliberation, then we'll vote.
So just to be clear, the purchase agreement is that demanded the tear down is for 13.
Right,
Sure,
and that's
not for 9.
and that is again, that's a formality. We have to, we'll acknowledge the fact that it doesn't fall under the historic building bylaw, and therefore we
Yeah,
have no say in it.
I just wanted to clarify that with Rudy, just to make sure that he understood that 9 Church has no requirements for that.
And in fact, as everyone knows, even if a building is deemed to be historically significant, all we can do is have a 6-month demolition delay to find alternate uses, but there's not much we can do. Okay, then there's the subject of 131 Brigham Street, which again, we expect to get a demolition request soon. I have not seen that yet. Well, it turns out that there already was a demolition request back in 2017. And Norm Corbin was able to find the minutes of that meeting, at which time
Mhm.
the commission voted that it was not historically significant because it had, I think, I guess Brian Smith, you were involved in that too.
Yeah.
The consensus is that the dwelling had significant alterations and there was very little historic architecture remaining. So at that point, it was voted as not historically significant. The demolition did not occur. I guess there was a new owner. So if it were to come up again, I will raise that to the commission, but I believe there's no need to go through the deliberation again. It's didn't get significant in the last few years. But again, that's up to the commission to decide whether that's proper.
Sure.
Okay, 453 Main Street, Brian drafted a letter, and that was sent. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, Norm Corbin wrote a nice article about Native American trails that go through Northborough. It was in the Community Advocate. There was
Mm.
actually more trails than I thought there were. And he had sent a note to the planning board to remind them that when new property is being developed along some of those trails, we have to be mindful of architectural issues in the construction. So they've noted that and just want to bring that up to everyone to keep that in mind. If you go to the Community Advocate, you can see where the trails are. It's the map. We need to get a better quality map to see actually where the trails go.
Did you mean archaeological issues?
Yes, did I say that wrong?
Architectural, I think you said, but I could be
Oh,
wrong.
no, you're
Like, okay.
my bad. That's archaeological.
Okay.
All right, so that leads us to other issues, and then a few things came up since I wrote the agenda. The first is that I've been in touch with the Trinity Church, and they withdrew their CPC application,
Mm.
but there is a desire by them to form a historical district around the church. Now, I've had some give and take with Pete Carlson, who gave the presentation about the Trinity Church. And I explained what needs to be done to set up a historical district. First thing is you set up a historical district study committee, which is made up of us in the commission, but also outside people as well, and it would include Trinity Church. Now, he's been in touch with several different committees in the church and working groups and finance committees, et cetera. And the consensus from them is that they would welcome a historic district, but it would have to be a historic, they would be the center of a historic district, which would include other property. And if it was just, we had talked about the possibility of just having the church as a historic district and similar to the Whitney parsonage. But their consensus is that they don't think that would be proper, but they would like to be part of a historic district. So if I could, again, just show.
Hmm.
So if you look at, there's the church. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Mhm.
And those are two Gale properties. And then across the street, there's
Hmm.
several properties, one being the library,
Mhm.
the the historic societies down there,
Yep.
and the old the bank, which is now,
Yeah.
I think, a office building.
Yep.
So it's possible that if we had buy-in from the owners, we could have like a historic district limited in scope to what we did last time. The last time we tried to have a Main Street historic district. I don't think it's going to be successful if we don't get buy-in from the owners. So that was my thought, and we listed several properties that could be interested.
Which
in-
one is the Grange? Is that 33
The
or
Grange is
34?
here.
35. Was
The
that
Grange
30?
is there, and that could be part of it. I
Yeah,
think
I'd
the
like,
issue
yeah.
is going to be that if you have one or two houses here, but not the others, you really want to have a district that can be, you can have a discrete border where everything is contiguous. I'm not sure how you would do it otherwise. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it could be a few houses here and a few houses here.
Yeah, it can be a few houses here and there.
It could be,
Yeah,
you could put like a one circle here, maybe one circle here.
yeah,
Okay. So anyway, there's several properties here that would be significant.
So that's,
This house down here is where I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles was raised.
yeah.
And five is you, Brian, right?
That's Brian.
okay.
Five
I mean,
five is the house number
Um,
97 Main Street.
Yeah.
What's
five.
23?
Huh?
Oh, there's nothing there anymore.
There's two houses here that aren't on the map.
No, but 23 is 40 West Main. There's no building there anymore.
Oh, this is an old map.
Yep. But yeah, so there's no building there anymore. That was the one that burned.
23
That's
is
the town
here.
common. Yeah, town common and right,
Yeah.
23 was, 23 was the old furniture place, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Now you own that property too, Millie?
I do.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Well, you could have 3 buy-ins right away. I could tell you that.
Our very own land baron on the does land baron one of the qualifications for the committee?
I don't know. Oh God.
Well, Millie, we would come to you and ask about C'est La Vie if that's
Yeah.
something you want to think about.
Well, I have C'est La Vie and I don't know, I think it's number 28. 24 Main Street. That's not on here. If that's that building.
Huh.
24 Main.
Oh, you own that too? Oh, I didn't know about that one. So what building is that?
That is it's 24 Main Street. It's basically in a butter 230. It's the one, it's a white building.
This is Northborough House of Pizza right here.
Exactly. And I believe, so maybe so it might be number 29. But this isn't, yeah.
Okay, the numbers on the map don't correspond to the street name.
You don't own House of Pizza.
That's
You own the Pizza
24.
Baron too?
29 is 24 Main Street.
That's the one I have.
Oh, okay.
So I have 29, it looks like 30. Yeah. So, okay.
All right. And Brian Smith, you did say that if you could have a district of 2 circles of
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah, I assume they go to 2 circles.
Mhm.
And
Well, that lends me to, again, your house could be included then.
Hmm.
Something you want to think about. I didn't expect to go that far down, but there's no reason why we can't.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, the timing is this. We would have to have I have to find out from the church who's going to be on this committee. Let me get out of the sharing. Okay, can everyone see me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we don't have to make a decision now, but I'm hoping I'd like to consider someone stepping up to run the study committee. So think about it, and you can reach out to me if you can. It is going to require. I assume we'd have to go to the select board and let them know what we're doing. Then we have to basically write a report that would go to the Massachusetts Historical Commission. with all the details. And we have examples of the Whitney Street property in White Cliffs that we could use as a boilerplate. So I think we can table this maybe to next meeting, but I just wanted people to think about it. It's just something that I just don't know if I can handle too much of it at
Yeah.
this point. Obviously, I'd be on the committee and help out, but it would be a separate committee from our commission.
Right.
And of course, we'd have to have final buy-in from the Trinity Church, but they've indicated to me that if Trinity Church was the anchor of the historic district with other properties involved, that they would be in favor of it. And they would write a good portion of the study report on the history of the church and the historical significance of the church. And then we would probably have to rely on Macris and maybe the property owners to do the other properties.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I think it would be nice to have another historic district in town, especially in the Main Street area.
Yeah.
Now, as I said, the timing would be that we would have essentially almost a year to write the report, submit it to Massachusetts Historical Commission. We'd have to get a response by the end of next year, the end of 2025, in order to put it onto the 2026 warrant of the town meeting. If it were delayed, it would be delayed a year, but I think it has to be approved by the town. And I think if the property owners are buying into it, I can't imagine why people would turn it down if they're not part of the historic district. What would the objection be? But you never know.
There's no cost associated with it, or
I'm sorry?
any cost associated with it?
For us, I don't think so. I think just writing the report, labor. I don't think that the Mass Historical Commission charges. I mean, any small expenses can come out of our budget, but I don't imagine that being much. Okay.
Did we go over the minutes? Did we approve those yet?
Oh, I forgot. Okay, this is a good time to go through the minutes. So I sent everyone corrected minutes. Did everyone have a chance to review it?
Mhm.
Okay. Any changes?
Just see what was the
Okay, so do I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 20th?
So moved.
so moved. Oh,
Second, good. Second? I guess we,
Second.
okay. Okay, Brian Smith,
Brian Smith?
do you approve the minutes?
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
voting? Yes, okay. Leslie Harrison,
Yes.
Millie,
yes.
Amanda,
Yes.
Brian Swanson,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Minutes pass unanimously. Thank you. Okay, Amanda, I put a couple things on the agenda that you had mentioned. One was 26 Summer Street.
Yeah, so 26 Summer Street just sold. It looks like a young couple moving to town from California, actually. So that is historic, so that'll be good to hopefully they will save that.
And it's okay, and you have the names of the owners. We have that.
Yes. Yep, I think I included that in the email to you. If not, I can find that again.
Okay, no, I have the names. It's
Okay.
Colleen and Alexis Skewson.
Yeah.
Okay. Brian, could I ask Brian, Brian Swanson, can I ask you to draft the letter?
Yeah, send me the names, it'd be great.
Yep. Okay, and I guess I have to look up, it must be on the Macris, I assume. I'll look that up. Okay. And Amanda, you were had something else to talk about historic businesses, businesses in historic buildings.
Yes. So I thought of putting together a small pamphlet for uh local businesses in town that are in historic buildings that would include a short blurb about the business itself and then also about the building. So places like C'est La Vie would be in there, Nicholas Michaels, anything like in the old post office building, any of the like older
Specialties.
historic buildings, yeah,
Purple Road,
specialties.
yeah.
Yeah.
The bank building on Main
Yeah.
Street.
Yeah, yeah, and then printing off a bunch, giving them to the, whatever the business is so that they can hand them out to people just to kind of get people interested in the history and then hopefully also just to kind of get some more people into the different businesses in town.
Peppers is another good one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so if you guys have ideas, send them my way and I'll start doing some research, start pulling some information up.
I think that's a great idea, Amanda.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
Gray's carpet, right? I mean, Gray's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hayes, the funeral home.
Grace and Hayes, yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a-
thinking
there's a
even
place
like
right next to the town hall on the other side of the street, like an old barn.
Yeah, wasn't it a fitness?
the Elegant Antiques.
Is that what? Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, I thought it was like a antique place at least a long time ago. They used to do the selling gold and all that kind of stuff too.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think they're
Now,
still
but-
there.
Mm,
that's still in vogue.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you mention Sawyer's?
Oh right.
Yeah,
Oh my
Sawyer's is
wow.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great idea.
Thank you.
Would you be talking to the business owners?
Yeah, I'd probably talk to them just to make sure, they'd be interested in being in it and see if they have anything to share as far as their history.
For the businesses that we talked about in the Trinity Church vicinity,
Mm-hmm.
like the bank, you could mention too about the possibility of a historic district.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But what about Mayo's Pets? I don't know much about that building, but that
Yeah, I'd have to look at that and see. That might be because that definitely looks old enough.
yeah, exactly. And it was a great business to promote too.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I was even thinking because Maytech isn't old building, is obviously a historic building. It's not necessarily a company that people are gonna, go shopping at, but it might be something to include as well.
Mhm.
Yep. Do you need anything else from us at this point?
I don't think so. Just shoot me an email with ideas
Okay.
as you get them, and if anybody
No.
has, connections, if you know who owns a
Yeah.
business or whatever, just let me know.
I don't think this requires a formal vote to proceed. It's certainly an objective and goal of ours, and I get
Yeah.
the sense that the commission is in favor of this.
It can't hurt to vote.
Okay, so do I have a motion to proceed on Amanda's idea to create a
Historic business brochure.
historic business brochure for businesses in Northborough that are in historic buildings?
So moved.
So
You
moved.
set them up so nicely for a so moved, Bob. Thank you. And Amanda, it was a joy.
Second.
Okay. Brian Smith,
Second,
yes or no?
yes, no, no, yes,
Leslie,
Yes.
Millie,
Yes.
Brian Swanson,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Thank you, Millie, for a great idea.
Oh, that was Amanda.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
Yep.
Amanda. Oh,
You're welcome.
Looks
Thank
The
you,
last
guys.
name is close.
it's too close to the holidays, I think.
With the I mean, I know we're talking businesses, but would the library count as sort of a,
Yeah, I would probably include them too. I mean, and I think I would see too, depending. I mean, it would probably make sense to try and keep it like a single page back and front. So we'll see. I'll see how many things I come up with.
Hmm.
Okay, good. Is there
I
any
mean,
other
the
business
Historical
before the
Society,
commission? I'm
people might
sorry.
not realize that the Historical Society, I mean, I know it's kind of branching out from businesses, but sort of in the same spirit as the library. Just a thought that people might not
Yeah,
be aware of events that go on there, and it might be a good way to sort
good
of
thing to
highlight.
add. Definitely, especially if maybe I can put those like those can be like, fillers if I need to make it look bigger.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Thank you. Is there any other business before the commission? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Yep.
Okay, Brian Smith.
Who seconded that? I missed it.
I did. Leslie?
Thank you.
Uh, Brian's A. Smith, Historical Commission.
You approve adjourning.
Yeah,
Leslie,
Yes.
Millie,
Yes.
Amanda,
Yes.
Brian Swanson,
Yes.
and I vote yes to adjourn. Thank you. Have a happy holiday, everyone.
yeah.
You
I'll
too.
see you. I'll send out some information about the 9 church, and Amanda will send some information to us, and we'll get together again on, next meeting date, as I said, was
January 15th.
January 15th. Okay. Well, thank you all.
Thank you.